Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and you're not going to want to miss the this video in the private group. Today, I'm going to talk about two things that are very fascinating. One is what happened in 2017 with XRP. What happened, and why I think it's not just going to repeat, but it's going to do a 2017 on steroids. And then I'm also going to talk about a secret history of XRP. Something that's not talked about often. You might see it every once in a while, but it's a history that is what possibly could lead straight to Satoshi's door. And I'm going to talk about those two things. If you want to join, go to daixrp.com. If you'd like to join through the Patreon, or if you'd rather, you can join down here on every YouTube video. There's a little join button at the bottom. Cost of a cup of coffee. Do it. Now, also wanted to introduce you to Sam Boyle. He's one of the brokers at Caleb & Brown that I have met. He's been to XRP Las Vegas. I don't know if he's coming this year, but at least one of the guys from Caleb & Brown is going to be there at XRP Las Vegas for the third year straight.
Hi, I'm Sam Boyle, and I'm a senior broker at Caleb & Brown. I've been with Caleb & Brown for the past 5 years, and I've had the pleasure of working with clients in over 30 different countries, predominantly in the US. My main focus over the last 12 months or so has been DeFi, and also what's happening in the payments sector with regulation and XRP finally coming out on top potentially in the US with the SEC. One of the greatest highlights over the years has been working with clients over in different countries physically, going to Vegas for some conferences, living in the UK for 3 years, working with clients face to face, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Over 2025, I do want to make myself available for discussions across all the different cryptocurrencies in the space. I've quite literally been in every single project that we trade with. I try and get as much insight into every single coin to have these discussions. While I'm living over in Melbourne, Australia, I try and work from around 6:30 a.m. up until sometimes even midnight, depending on the market conditions. Feel free to check us out at calebandbrown.com. Get an account set up, speak with a broker. It's free, and we're happy to have that chat.
All right, and I've made it easy for you. This is the place you go to open an account on Caleb & Brown. This is my page they created for me, and I created a domain that's easy because I know a lot of you are driving down the road. So I created xrpwealth589.com, and when you go to that address, it forwards you straight to my page here on Caleb & Brown, and you can click sign up today to open an account. A ton of people have been opening accounts, and it's something I did, and I've literally got my broker programmed in my phone, so I can call him and say, sell this, and how do you recommend? Should I put a sell order in? What do you recommend in terms of? I think they're called stop limits, and all these different things. They have different strategies that they can go over with you. So go check it out. And like I said, those guys are going to be at XRP Las Vegas. Go to xrplasvegas.com. The tickets are not going to remain on sale all the way up to the conference. And there's only 43 days left. And the hotels are going to be harder and harder to come by. xrplasvegas.com. Check it out. Market is still boring. I'm not even going to waste my time there. I do want to show you this. This is a top Chinese official.
是美国最大的贸易顺差地，但美国依然对香港如此加征关税，简直是蛮横霸道、无耻之极。这让世人更加看清，美国见不得香港好，是破坏香港人权自由、法治秩序和繁荣稳定的最大黑手。
Chinese official talking
他
about
不是
human
要我
rights?
们的税。
I'm sorry, is that a communist Chinese official that's talking about human rights, really? Talking about arrogance when they've been arrogant with their tariff policy for decades?
而是要我们的命。美国一而再、再而三对香港进行遏制打压，换来的只能是其 在香港的代理人的加速灭亡，最终必将反噬其自身，让美国那些乡巴佬们在中华民族5000年文明面前去哀鸣吧。
Well, folks, if you're young, you may not remember this, but let me tell you what it was like when I was young. When I was a kid, we were here, you know how all you're hearing about is China dominance and China is a threat to the United States. When I was a kid, they were saying the same thing about Japan, and look what happened. Japan ran into all kinds of economic problems. And my point there is not that China's not a threat. My point is never count the United States of America out. Just in, Japan agrees to negotiate new trade deal with the United States. Check this out. This is the guy from Stephen McClurg from Canary ETF. Canary, I don't know what it's called. Let me see. Canary Funds. Canary Capital, sorry. He's on with Paul Barron, who's also going to be at XRP Las Vegas.
Solana and XRP.
Both of these guys are going to be at XRP Las Vegas.
Which one of those do you think might fall in favor of the SEC first?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm gonna go with XRP for a number of reasons.
Okay.
The courts ruled that it's not a security. That makes it easy. XRP is a favorite for all of the above.
Let's get into.
And by the way, I agree with HBAR as well.
HBAR is a great one.
It's same thing.
Solana and XRP.
The only digital asset with legal clarity. Where have you heard that? This is from the CEO of Uphold. The sleeping giant called finance is moving, and given the U.S.'s change of course, it doesn't look like the crypto button will be put on ice this time. Innovation is coming. Be ready. Man, there's so many good things today. Check this out. This is from Riz XRP. This is Modern Investor.
It says XRP could rise about 200% from its current level by year's end. This is according to Standard Chartered, which initiated coverage on the asset on Tuesday. The native token of the XRP ledger and fourth largest crypto by market cap could hit $5.50 a piece by the end of this year. The bank's digital assets researcher, Jeff Kendrick, said in a note. The numbers we were getting before, like I said, we're seeing different numbers, but still relatively optimistic for cryptocurrency prices. The base line that we were receiving more or less was for a $10 to $15 XRP. This bank is stating that by the end of this year, we should see around $5.50. This seems incredibly low comparative to the previous all-time high, especially for all the things that have actually been going on. I'm glad I'm not the only one noticing this as well. I don't remember the username on Twitter, but someone broke it down. This was a couple of days ago. They were talking about for every coin. It wasn't just XRP. It was across the board. They were going over Bitcoin, how many new mining operations there are, how high the hash rate is compared to 2021. The brand new institutions, it was a crazy looking chart. I'll see if I can find it. All the new institutions have gotten to the space, how much they've accumulated. And basically, they were trying to mathematically figure out exactly how high we should be in price just with all of that news. And it was one of those, we should currently be above 200,000, but dramatic market uncertainty. We're also talking about XRP as well and all the partnerships. And I appreciate the idea of $5.50, but I think a lot of this has to do with market timidity and people basically not really knowing where things are going to be by the end of this year. But $5.50 seems incredibly low, especially with what was that thing that just happened? Ripple just bought some money transmitter company for $1 billion something dollars. And people think that alone will add another $5 or $6 to XRP price.
You're darn right. Okay, this is interesting right here. Just so you know, while they're talking about this, the ISM is a manufacturing index that basically shows it's an index that shows the health of the U.S. manufacturing industry. Listen to this.
And then what we know is that it's really these periods. So currently the ISM's back below 50. But once we cross above 50 and we trend into our late cycle peak, which is typically above, let's say around 60. And as I just pointed out before, our lead indicators are already suggesting that we're going to approach those levels, that this is typically where we see the big moves in Bitcoin and other risk assets more generally. But if we just look at the 2016, 2017 cycle, because we're going to zoom in on this in a second, you'll look at that white line in Bitcoin between those two, kind of the gray bar and the pink bar. So the ISM crosses 50 to the ISM peak and be like, wow, that looks like a straight line higher. Well, no. I mean, over that entire period, there was multiple 40% corrections. So that's why 35% corrections are the norm. And you just have to get used to that. As we've kind of always been saying, is that crazy volatility is the price you pay for crazy returns.
Okay. Look at this from Peter Brandt, the chart guy. Gold has now entered its blow-off stage. Such rapid advancement will come to a terminal top, but attempting to pick a high can be very expensive. Blow-off tops can extend well beyond a bear's ability to meet margin calls. Now, I think this is where I'm going to finish. This is interesting because Dave Ramsey, he's the financial expert guy, and he's been like negative on crypto for a long time. But he, in this clip, he says a lot that I agree with. Basically, the theme of what he's saying here, I won't play the whole video, but the theme of what he's saying in the core of the video is that it's crazy, the idea that someone would put 100% of everything they've got in Bitcoin or crypto. Well, I agree with that. I mean, we've always said, don't invest more than you can afford to lose. And my plan after crypto's over is to take, I don't know, 5 or 10% of everything I have and always keep that in higher risk investments, whether it's private equity or in crypto and that kind of thing. But I've said many times at the end of this story, now I'm not selling anywhere close to yet, but when this thing takes off, because there's nobody that knows what we hold better than you and I do at this point. We've studied it backwards and forwards and upside down and left and right. And so I think we're at that moment where we all get to win. But when we do win, a lot of the things he talks about is what I'll be doing. But you can tell he's backed down a little bit on his crypto stance.
What do you think about crypto? I mean, I've heard you speak on crypto. You hate it. I don't know if that's changed at all. I mean, I believe the Trump administration just put some into the reserve, Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, and is it XRP?
Yep.
And I'm just curious. That the space just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and evolving, and more people are taking it seriously. I was just curious.
I think it's going to continue to get bigger, and I think it's going to continue to get better. And it's going to continue to stabilize. I mean, it was a volatile Wild Wild West crap show for a long time. And it kind of still is, really. But it's not nearly as bad as it was when we first started talking about the subject. So I think it's getting better. It's getting more sophisticated. It's probably, therefore, getting safer. But here, even when it stabilizes and becomes more normalized, so to speak, and it's got a little track record to it, and you can look back and go, okay, the last 15 years, here's what it's done, not the last 15 days. Then you still got to say, okay, what do I want to invest in? And what happens with people with gold or crypto or a lot of other things is they confuse the concepts of speculating versus investing. And that's why I've come out so hard on crypto, because I have people calling and saying, I'm not doing investing, I'm investing in crypto, which is an oxymoron. You can't. The only thing you could do in crypto is to speculate. The only thing you can do in gold is to...
For now. See, this is the part where I disagree. I don't think this guy has really studied the concept of utility yet.
Speculate. Speculating is a short-term play. Because if you look at
speculation only, yeah, he's right.
A long-term play on something that doesn't have a track record, crypto, you can't look at a long-term play. You're really, gambling.
He's not going to really know until we have regulation, folks.
Is here, speculating is I'm putting some money in, playing with this. I think I might make some money. But I'm really not thinking 40 years. I'm not thinking 25 years. I'm not thinking I want to retire from this. But this is speculating. Even if you're a home builder and you build a home that doesn't have a buyer, they call it a spec home. They're speculating. It's a short-term play. They didn't build a rental property they're going to keep for 25 years. They built a piece of inventory that they want to turn right now into money. So speculating is short-term. Investing is over here is long-term. They're not the same thing. If you want to speculate, which would not be you're not betting the farm. You're not betting your quality of life. You're not betting your wealth-building portfolio on it. You know, I've got friends that are worth $100 million and they've got, they put $1 million in crypto.
Yeah, and that's reasonable. They're not going to miss it. Now, I didn't mean to show this, but I'll show this and then we'll talk about it. Okay, here's a video from Scott Bessent. He's referring to 2017, okay, because we're going to talk about 2017 and XRP and why I think we're going to see a 2017 type run and some. And we're going to talk about in the group the secret XRP history that I think could lead to Satoshi's doorstep, hence the word secret. Listen to this.
Tariffs are getting the majority of the publicity now, but we were having very good luck, or very, very good progress. It's not luck because it's been a lot of hard work on the tax bill. So the tax bill is moving through the Senate, moving through the House. I think we're going to have some permanence for the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, probably by 4th of July. And I think that will give people certainty.
Okay, the tax cuts like 2017. Okay, go to DAIXRP.com. That's to join the Patreon, or you can click the join button right below this YouTube video if you'd rather join through YouTube. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.